There's a strange thrill in being utterly thrown off balance, a feeling that pulls some of us to wander far from home. We crave that rush of stepping into the unknown, a place so strange it leaves us guessing at every turn. Sometimes it's the quirks of a culture, other times it's an attraction that defies all logic. Whether crafted by nature or human hands, these places don't just mystify us, they stump even those who call them home. Here's a look at some of the world's most astonishingly weird places that are calling out to be explored. Moving mountain. Mountains are the last thing you'd expect to find on the move, but in Tanzania, a massive sand mountain defies all logic. This towering dune creeps across the landscape at an astonishing 66 feet each year, shifting its shape and even splitting into two as it changes direction. This isn't just a mirage. Former President Jakaya Kikwete claimed that a handful of this sand kept moving even when he placed it in his car. Believed to be born from volcanic forces, this shifting giant is closely watched by the Ngorongoro Conservation Area Authority, which uses beacons to track its mysterious path. Floating islands. On Loktak Lake in northeast India, a sight both mesmerizing and surreal awaits. The lake is dotted with fumdis, floating islands made of soil, vegetation, and organic matter woven together to form solid, spongy mounds. These islands are like icebergs. Most of their mass lies hidden below the water. During the dry season, their roots sink to the lakebed to pull in nutrients, feeding not only the islands themselves, but also the life around them. Loktak Lake is Manipur State's lifeline, providing fresh water, food, and livelihoods for thousands of fishermen who harvest tons of fish each year. Even schools float here, giving children and adults a chance to learn right on the water. The Beacon of Maracaibo. In Western Venezuela, over the waters of the Catatumbo River, there's a storm that seems to defy nature. A storm that roars with lightning every night, starting precisely at 7 p.m. and raging for 10 hours straight. For 260 nights a year, the night sky is electrified, with flashes that can be seen for miles, illuminating the water and casting eerie shadows. Yet no one really understands why. Theories have come and gone. Some thought uranium in the riverbed could be sparking this relentless lightning, but scientists now question that explanation. Instead, the latest theory suggests that warm trade winds clash with cold air flowing from the Andes Mountains, with rapidly evaporating river water and methane from a nearby oil field adding fuel. But even this is only a guess. Everything about this storm feels like a mystery, including the year 2010, when it abruptly stopped without warning. For 6 long weeks, the skies were silent, as if the storm had vanished for good. Then, out of nowhere, it returned, and it hasn't stopped raging since. Sea splits into two. In 2018, Kerala was devastated by one of the heaviest monsoons in recent history. Torrential rains nearly drowned the entire state, claiming thousands of lives and leaving many without homes. Yet, as the floodwaters receded, something astonishing emerged. A narrow sand strip stretching half a kilometer appeared along the beach of Ponani in Kerala's Malappuram district. Locals looked on in disbelief as the sandbar seemed to split the sea in two. This curious natural formation instantly captivated the public, drawing locals and tourists alike who ventured out for a walk on this surreal island. Although authorities warn it could be swept away by high tides, people still flock to see it, mesmerized by its sudden and mysterious appearance. It stands as a rare and beautiful reminder of nature's unpredictability, a place that draws crowds to walk on a sandbar that seems to slice the sea right down the middle. Grünersee. In Austria, there's a scenic park where people come to hike, relax on benches, and wander along peaceful trails. But when spring arrives, this serene place transforms into something extraordinary. Nestled by the Hochschwab Mountains, the park finds itself completely submerged as snow from the mountains melts, doubling the size of the lake and swallowing the park beneath. Suddenly, what was once a tranquil trail is now an underwater wonderland. Scuba divers glide over benches, bridges, and alpine flowers blooming below the surface. Then, as summer comes and the waters recede, the park re-emerges, returning to its familiar form, until next spring when it all happens again. Mount Roraima. Mount Roraima is like something from another planet. Towering with its flat-topped peak, this ancient mountain has a world all its own, with ecosystems and species that exist nowhere else. Imagine waterfalls so high they seem to pour down from the sky itself, and bizarre plants and creatures that give the place an almost otherworldly vibe. Thought to be around 2 billion years old, Mount Roraima has inspired tales and movies like Pixar's Up and Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's The Lost World. It's one of those places that calls out to the adventurous, daring them to explore its mysteries. Would you be one of the brave to step into this isolated ancient world? Kelimutu, Indonesia. On Flores Island in Indonesia, Mount Kelimutu hides a breathtaking surprise. 3 volcanic lakes, each a different color. But that's not the only mystery. These lakes change colors unpredictably, shifting from blue to turquoise to black, and at times to red, white, or even dark brown. Scientists attribute these transformations to volcanic gases and minerals beneath, but no one can truly predict when or why they'll shift. Kelimutu's lakes are as volatile as they are beautiful, drawing travelers eager to witness this natural palette shift before their eyes. Each visit offers a new, unexpected hue, proof that nature has secrets even science can't fully explain. Superstition Mountain. Some places carry a dark reputation, feared for curses or mysteries too deep to unravel. In Arizona's arid landscape, just east of Phoenix, lies the eerie and rugged terrain of the Superstition Mountains. These twisted peaks and sprawling badlands, once known as Sierra de la Espuma by Spanish settlers. The legend goes that in the 1800s, Jacob Waltz discovered an immense gold mine hidden in these mountains but took its location to his grave, possibly sharing its secret with one person on his deathbed. Many have since ventured in search of the so-called Lost Dutchman's mine, but some explorers have vanished without a trace, feeding tales of misfortune and doom. Even Native American lore warns that these mountains guard an entrance to the underworld itself. Lake Karachay. Deep within a former Soviet Union nuclear weapons complex sits Lake Karachay, arguably one of the most dangerous spots on Earth. This lake isn't just toxic, it's lethally radioactive. During the Soviet era, it became a dumping ground for unimaginable amounts of nuclear waste, making its waters so deadly that standing nearby for just an hour could be fatal. In 1957, a catastrophic explosion in the nuclear facility released radioactive particles across a 9,000 square mile area. A decade later, in 1967, as the lake dried up. Today, the lake has been partially entombed in concrete to prevent further contamination. Yet, despite these efforts, Lake Karachay remains so toxic, it makes the infamous Chernobyl appear safe in comparison. The Petrifying Well. What if there was a place where anything left in its waters would slowly turn to stone? In Knaresborough, North Yorkshire, there's a well that makes this eerie transformation a reality. Known as the Petrifying Well, its waters flow down a cliffside that resembles a skull, and over time, turn anything in their path to solid rock. Teddy bears, hats, even bicycles, left beneath this mysterious stream. They all transform into stone statues within a few months. For centuries, locals believed a witch's curse haunted the well, freezing objects with a sinister touch. But modern science has revealed a different kind of magic, the water's unusually high mineral content. As it flows, it coats objects in a mineral shell, just like how stalactites form deep in caves. And so, this chilling transformation continues to captivate visitors from around the world. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe so you'll be ready for our next adventure.